Hello, welcome. It's the new Super Review here on Top TV, and we are reaching you live from the city of Port Harcourt, Rivers State, Nigeria. Well, we'll be bringing you the headlines across newspapers shortly. You stay tuned. After this break, we'll be right back.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek, a place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice. This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
Welcome back from that break. My name is William Abule and want to thank you very much for staying with us up to this time. You can also participate in this new Super Review by dropping your comments on the comment section. You can do that by first subscribing to this channel by clicking on the subscribe button and also turning on your notification key. That helps you to get notified whenever we put up a new episode of the program and other interesting programs we have here on Top TV. Well, without wasting time, let's go to the headlines. And for today, the 11th day of May 2022, we'll start with This Day newspaper. And as the headline out here on This Day newspaper, we see this one. It says, APC ticket. Jonathan gives conditions. Sale of forms extended to May 12th. Former president joining our party, running for office will be one of the wonders of the century, says Omahi. 100 million naira forms, presidential aspirant defects, alleges party has commercialized primary process. High cost of APC PDP presidential forms worries Kuka, warns Nigerians unwittingly pushing for plutocracy. All right, other headlines here on This Day newspaper. We see this one at the top part of that paper. Kyari, why Nigeria's refineries are not working. Says rehabilitation on the way, assures 2.8 billion liters of petrol available, sufficient for 48 days. All right, moving on, still on This Day newspaper, we see this one. Party primaries, Senate amends Electoral Act yet again to allow president, governors, orders, vote. House to do same today, but will Buhari sign? All right, that's the question they're asking on This Day newspaper. And to get details and to also answer that question, go to This Day newspaper. All right, moving on, we go to the Punch newspaper. And on the Punch newspaper, we see here as the headliner, Jonathan's backers seek consensus. Jonathan's backers seek consensus. Southern APC aspirants disagree. 28 presidential aspirant obtain forms as sale ends. Another contestant joins race. Jonathan's candidacy tough to sell. Governor Omahi Ekiti Swaga, that is SWAGA, won APC. GEJ is welcome. He can contest on APC platform. Katsina Bayelsa chairman speaking there, and all of the details of that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Other stories here on the Punch newspaper, we see 2023, INEC insists on June 3rd as 18 parties demand primaries deadline extension. All right, that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Also, we see here, refineries probe, reps kick as Kyari keeps mum on oil swap deal. All right, we'll move on to the Daily Sun newspaper. And from the top part of that paper here, we see 2023, Obasanjo Adebanjo orders endorse Southeast for presidency. Ohaneze lobby group pushes harder. All right. Also on the Daily Sun newspaper, we see here as the headliner, Senate bars ministers' orders from voting at party congresses, primaries. OK's president, governors' orders to vote in Electoral Act amendment. Reps hold emergency session today on same amendment. We also take this one. It says, sex tape. Lagos police arraign 4 Christian school teachers. All right. And also, Emefiele's presidential interest raises dust in INEC. Details of that is on page 6 and 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, next we'll be taking on the Guardian newspaper, beg your pardon, and I'll start from this one. It says, TUC threatens action over ASU strike as College of Education workers issue 21-day ultimatum. Also, we see 18 political parties seek extension of deadline for primaries. INEC rejects plea, insists on June 3rd. As the headliner here, we see 2023, PDP may dump zoning as NEC meets over autumn report. Concerns mount over appointment of convention planning committee. Court orders speedy hearing of suit challenging PDP's primary. Omahi, if Jonathan joins APC, it will be one of the wonders of the century. Okay, we also take this here on the Guardian newspaper. It says, Afenifere condemns Emefiele's involvement in politics, requests for restraining order. All right, and lastly, still on the Guardian, we see this one, a tenure extension. I will hand over May 29 next year, Buhari replies Clark. And that story is on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. All right, next we go to the Vanguard. And on the Vanguard, here's the headliner. We see 2023 presidency, Jonathan makes U-turn on APC ticket. And details of that story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also take this one. It says, primaries, APC, PDP, 16 orders demand 37-day extension of INEC's June 3rd deadline. And then court nullifies AGF's committee on sales disposals of recovered assets. All right, still on 2023 election, you see presidency should go to Southeast. Obasanjo Falai speaking there. All right, so need to get details of that. Please pick up a copy of the Vanguard newspaper. And lastly, for today, we'll take on the Leadership newspaper. And as the headliner on the Leadership newspaper, we see 19 days to party primaries. Senate amends Electoral Act, makes president, governors, orders statutory delegates. That story is on page 4 of the Leadership newspaper. On that same headline, we read this one's sub-headline. It says, Reps summon emergency plenary to carry out own exercise today. Act undergoes 3 amendments in 2 months. CSOs insist on resignation of political appointees. INEC, IPAC disagree over extension of party primaries by 2 months. APC closes sale of farms. Mogalo picks ADC nomination farms. All right, we also see here on the Leadership newspaper, say fuel scarcity extends to northern states. And then lastly, I'll take this one. They say 2023, Southwest, South aspirants betraying Southeast. Omahi speaking there. And then also Nans gives federal government ASU 9 days to open varsities. So you need to get details of all of these stories. Do well to pick up a copy of the Leadership newspaper. That's where you will get details of that story. All right, next on the show is our conversation segment where we get to talk about the headlines I've read out to you. And that will be after this short break. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. And this is the News Super Review on TAV TV. I'm glad to have you join me. And we are back with our conversation segment here on the News Super Review. And I've been joined by Mr. Sonny Gomorai. Welcome to the show once more. All right, and today let's talk about the looming fuel scarcity. It's up again on the news. We could see that some northern states, starting from the Federal Capital Territory, already experiencing some level of scarcity. And from the news this morning on Leadership newspaper, we hear that this is now extending to some of the other northern states. And we also saw on one of the papers where we see the oil marketers, threatening to down tools once more, thereby, leading to this scarcity that it's already picking up bit by bit. What's your reaction to all of this, looking at the fact that we are just recovering from over 2 months, fuel scarcity that really caused a lot of pain and anguish on Nigerians? So let's have your take on that.
I think this government needs to be proactive in terms of tackling issues that concerns Nigerians. Because we've not waken up from the ASU strike yet, and petroleum marketers are beginning to threaten the same government with another strike. They've not been able to tackle the education sector, and right now the petroleum marketers, and the petroleum marketers is a very huge body, because they have about 3,000 petroleum marketers currently. So what the demand is that the federal government is owing them some claims from petroleum distribution, which is about 500 billion naira. And they said since this government came on board, they've only paid them twice. So I think it's a whole lot of backlog, and so their demand is that the federal government should pay them the money they are owing them, so they know the way forward. So I think it's something that the government should call them to the drawing board and find a way to resolve this issue very fast, because in Abuja right now we're experiencing fuel scarcity, and if it goes round, the country is going to collapse the economy further. So I think it's something they should do. And another thing, the petroleum marketers, I think somehow too they are not unified. In terms of the petroleum pricing system, because part of what they do is to unify the pricing system in terms of the pump price. But right now we still see that some filling station is not adhering to that stipulated price of 165 naira per liter. So we still see situations where we still buy more than what has been said that Nigerians should buy fuel per liter. So I think there's a whole lot they also need to do.
Yeah, all right, thank you for that. I also think that, yes, the Nigerian government should actually be proactive, like you earlier said, and try to nip this in its bud, because if it spreads, we're already having, some queues in Abuja and neighboring states, and people in Port Harcourt, like for instance here that we live in Port Harcourt, River State, we're already seeing some petrol station, and the body language of the suppliers here, they are beginning to feel like they should. Some of them have already started hoarding, because they know that they feel that within a week or two the scarcity will.
That's another thing I don't understand, because you buy a particular product at say old price, and because you just hear rumor of scarcity, you start ordering it, and I think that's the mentality we need to change in this country. They start ordering things. I bet you by next week you will see that all the fuel station will start increasing the pump price.
That is the federal government.
And this thing goes down to even daily commodities like food.
Yeah, of course,
products.
prices will go up.
Just like for instance, when we say okay, it's Christmas time, you see people that already have old stocks in their shop begin to inflate the price to cause artificial scarcity.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. So I think all these are things that the regulatory bodies can checkmate.
Yeah, we're hoping that, yes, they will really get into doing the right thing, and then ensuring that these marketers are somewhat, we don't know if they'll be able to pay all the bills that they say they owe them, but at least they can get into some kind of negotiation that will avert this looming scarcity that we see. All right, let's move away from that and let's talk a bit of politics, because the general elections are fast approaching. We cannot stay away from politics, and every day one thing or the other happens in the political scene. And for today, we're going to be talking about the report about the Electoral Act amendment that recently took place again. According to one of the newspapers, it says that the Electoral Act has been amended two times within, the shortest period that it was, put into law. And the most recent one is the news of, the Electoral Act amended to giving rights to the president and governors to vote during party primaries. What's your take about that?
I think, this is Nigeria, and there are a lot of things that we've been seeing of late, especially with this government. And, because a lot of Nigerians are really tired and are really waiting earnestly to see that this government leaves. And let's see what the new, the incoming, whoever wins is going to bring in. Because whoever comes in, there's a whole lot of work to do. In terms of even our policies, some of these laws that we have, they are very old. They're like way back from the military time, and we're still operating them. So a lot of changes, like the amendment they did, subsection 84.4, stating that people that already have political positions should vote in the conventions. I wasn't surprised, because even when the bill was sent to the president, after he signed it, 1 month later, maybe 1 week later, he was asking that the bill should be brought back. He wants to amend it. So I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, because the people right now in power, they always want to do things that suits them. You understand? For me, I'm not really comfortable with this amendment.
Do you see any change in the game of in the primaries?
Because I think this will really affect the primaries, in terms of, okay, you are canvassing to hold political position, or you are canvassing to be a president, and you're also going to be at the primary
at the election ground. Yes.
So don't you think that will influence people? And we all see what in the previous primaries that have happened in Nigeria. We all see what happens that day in the place of the primary.
Yeah.
You understand how things change hands, how money change hands, and So I don't think I'm comfortable with this amendment.
Okay. So do you also think that these politicians are always doing these things to sort of like favor their ambitions and the things that they are pursuing?
Yes. See,
they don't have the interest of the general public at heart.
Whether you like it or not, they've put in structures that will continue to suit them, even when they leave office. You understand? They've put in structures that will make it hard, even for the newcomers, to infiltrate or break into the kebab or into the system. You understand? So for anybody that wants to get into the circle or even to break the barriers, you have a whole lot of work to do.
I agree. And let's hope that, like you said, this thing they are doing to favor them will, at long last, or somehow, help the general public to get a better result come 2023. Well, that's all we'll be talking about this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny, for joining us today on the Newspaper Review. And to our beautiful viewers, we want to thank you especially for staying tuned up to this time. But that's all we can take today because of time constraint. But don't worry, we'll be back here tomorrow with another episode, and we'd love you to be a part of it by subscribing to this channel and turning on your notification key so you know when we're back with the program. My name is Williams Abule. Until next time, you stay well and stay safe.